What's up? It's Hannah. Thanks for being here. So in my last video, I talked all about my dream life, what feelings I want to have in my dream life, and I told you I was starting a 4-month challenge. First, I want to say, let's change the wording here. It's not a challenge anymore. It is an experiment, okay? I want to come at my life with more curiosity, not so much force and anger and like, you better do this. But the experiment is basically in the next 4 months, trying to actually do things to create my dream life rather than trying and failing to buy it. Because I am in the middle of a low buy as well. So this 4-month experiment I'm doing, and the low buy for that matter, it's not about being a minimalist. It's not anti-consumerism. To be quite frank, that's really just not me. What it's really about is using the resources I already have to get up and start making changes in my life to feel those dream life feelings. So one of the conditions of the experiment is that once a month, I work on a home project. This month, my focus was the yard. I have huge aspirations for our yard, okay? I want places to sit and hang out in the shade, maybe a dining area. I'm hoping for native grasses and flowers, birds twittering around, little creatures. I don't know. I just want a nice, very natural landscape. Now, in the past, I have had a few failed attempts on like mulching the yard, getting grass to grow. In the very beginning, years ago, I found some drought tolerant grass seeds and thought, perfect, let me just scatter these all around this dirt plot, till the soil a little bit, and voila, we're gonna have grass. That didn't happen. Nope. In fact, it made the dirt plot problem worse. Then I ordered like 8 or more bales of hay and spread that all around the yard thinking, perfect, it's mulch, okay, and there's got to be seeds in here, it'll start growing. So that hung around for about a week until the wind blew it all away. So finally I said, babe, you don't know what you're doing, okay? You need to sit down and learn something. Google, do something. You need professional help. So I wanted the guidance of like a landscaper to consult with, but I didn't want to spend money. So I went to the next best thing, which was ChatGPT. I went to Chat. I told it, hey, we're doing a huge yard project. I'm gonna show you the entire property, tell you what I like and I don't like, what I want more of, what I want less of, and you're gonna tell me how we're gonna do that. One day I spent several hours walking around our entire property, taking pictures from different angles, telling Chat, this is from the northwest corner, this is from the southeast corner, that kind of thing. Then finally, I kind of went into these more detailed sections of like, hey, here's the front yard. Here's, our front door. To the right, I would like there to be some type of a tree, probably a fruit tree of some kind. To the left is our only proper shady spot. It's really lush from all the roof runoff. This is going to be the hangout zone. So I told Chat like the vision of what I wanted for these areas and asked basically, hey, what can I do to help bring this closer to the vision? So the places where there's already some grasses, trees, maybe some flowers, some good water sources of roof runoff, we called those fertility islands. The idea was we're going to help those islands of fertility grow outward. And we're going to do this using 2 principles. We're going to protect the soil and we're going to slow the water. So let's start with principle 1, protecting the soil. How I'm going to do this? I already have a bunch of chicken wire that I got for free off Facebook Marketplace from a faraway neighbor. Thank you. And I've used it to cordon off some areas of the yard that I just want to give them a break, give them time to rest and recover, keep the dogs off of it, keep humans off of it. So the places where I've already put this, I have one little area where I have sown some hollyhock seeds. I want to keep the dogs away from that. In the front yard where I want there to be a tree one day, I blocked that off. And there's a spot that's kind of half in, half out of a fertility island in the back here. The next thing we're doing to protect the soil is using windbreaks. There's actually a good amount of houses and trees around us, and there's probably 3 acres, and we're one of those acres, of not a whole lot of structures and trees to block the wind. So wind just funnels through here really badly. And that wind is drying out the soil. It's blowing away any lightweight mulch. And it's just really hard on little baby plants. So what I'm using for windbreaks, I'm finding free pallets. I'm finding those like at hardware stores. There's some at grocery stores. Just look around your town, go on Facebook. That's where I found out where to find them. And I'm going to use that to basically make a fence of pallets outside of my existing fence. Also, I saw a cute idea of attaching like branches and sticks to your fence if you have one like ours that's just wire. And you know, another thing, I actually have this old broken picnic table in our backyard that I've been meaning to throw away for a very long time. Looks kind of trashy, but chat pointed out that that table is actually doing a very important job of being a windbreak, shading the soil, catching organic matter and seeds. And I've actually seen grass grow underneath that table. So she's not going anywhere. I'm going to leave her right where she is. Okay, and finally, to protect the soil, mulch. It can be bark, straw, manure, compost, leaves, even just a brush pile. And little did I know, rocks. Rocks are actually good and they act as mulch. They're shading the soil. They're helping retain moisture. Like, you know, you pick up a rock in your yard, you see bugs. Bugs is life. Bugs equal there's water down there, which is very good news for me because I have a ton of rocks here. So where I am finding mulch, well, first of all, we have a wood stove, so we get firewood every winter. And when they come deliver it and dump it in the yard, there's usually a big pile of wood chips down there. So that's where I'm getting my mulch. If not there, I've seen like, I don't know if it's the Forest Service, somebody is going in these woods and clearing them, taking out dead trees, whatever, and they'll make these huge piles. That's a perfect spot to grab some, especially after people have already picked through it for firewood. At the bottom, you've just got a bunch of mulch. Just go check out Facebook Marketplace and see who's giving away what. But these organic materials, they're so great because they're shading the soil, they're adding nutrients as they break down. I just had to show you, it's been weeks since I put these potatoes in the ground. It's all this green stuff underneath my old arugula. And I've not watered this one time. And it's rained maybe twice, a little bit, not even very much. Potatoes are amazing. One thing a potato is going to do is live. And this perfectly leads us into principle number 2, because they slow the water. Water on just bare ground, especially if it's on a slope like our yard, is just going to pour away very quickly. And it's not going to stay around long enough to actually soak into the ground and do good. Whereas mulch on top of that ground is going to force the water to break up into a bunch of tiny streams and figure through the maze of mulch. And since it's slowing down that water leaving the area, it's going to have time to soak into the earth. And by shading the soil, it is slowing evaporation. It's keeping it a little cooler. And with these organic material mulches, anything porous, it's actually going to soak up water like a sponge and again, keep it around longer. Another way that I am slowing down water is building berms, or what I have always heard them called tree wells. It's just a little saucer shape dip in the earth. It's a hole, okay? You dig the hole, the water stays in there longer. I'm digging these all around our existing honey locust trees. I dug a really nice one in that chicken wired off spot in the front yard where I want there to be a tree. I went ahead and added compost and mulch, and it's got a nice little berm. So now when it rains, the water's going to stay there, soak in. All of that compost and mulch is going to break down. And then the idea is years from now, I can put a tree there and it'll already have good soil. I also dug little tiny tree wells around any seeds that I've sown, just so that when it rains or whenever I water it, that water stays around a little longer, really soaks in right where the seeds are. So the dream for my yard, where I'm going with this, I want it to be a very natural oasis, helping support an ecosystem. There are already spots where there are some trees and grass, alfalfa, other different plants and flowers that the little bugs and bees and birds are loving, and I just want more of that for them and for me. I just want it to be a New Mexico landscape that has maybe been helped along a bit. Before I go, I want to leave you with really the sole lesson I have learned from this, that giving credit where it's due, ChatGPT taught me, which is, in the past, I would go find the worst spot in the yard. For example, the barren dirt patch where there's just tumbleweeds growing, if that. And I would look at that and be like, okay, this is where all of my resources and money and time need to go into, because this is the biggest problem. And it seems so obvious now, but Chat has pointed out that really what is going to ultimately be easier and make the most sense is finding those islands of fertility, finding the best parts of my yard, and encouraging growth outward from there. And is that not a fantastic metaphor for life? I'm just saying. Instead of focusing on the biggest problem in your life, the biggest source of stress, instead focusing on the very best parts of your life, the parts that bring you the most joy, and thinking, how can I multiply that joy? How can I let it bleed into the rest of my life? How can I be even more present in those moments? And that's kind of what this whole experiment is about, if you think about it. It's focusing on the good, what I can do, what I can change, and just focusing on what brings me joy, what brings me the feeling of being beautiful and taken care of. Do more of that. Let that leak out into the rest of your life, and now the bad parts don't seem so bad. Thank you so much for watching. I will definitely be keeping you updated on the yard. If you enjoyed this video, there is much more to come. I have plenty more house projects to do, and I look forward to discussing the other habits in the experiment. If you want to hear more about this 4-month experiment that I'm running, just watch my last video. And if you want to hear more about the low buy I'm doing this year, just keep watching anything from 2026. Thanks again. I will see you in the next one. Bye.